President Trump sold himself on the campaign trail as a self-made billionaire who earned his fortune on his own, just got a small $1 million loan from his dad. But a blockbuster investigation in the New York Times this afternoon reporting that President Trump received the equivalent of hundreds of millions in today's dollars from his father, much of it through tax schemes and dodges he helped orchestrate, according to the Times. Joining me on the phone is Russ Buettner, who broke the story along with two colleagues for the Times. Russ, give me the headline here. Why should voters care? Why is this a big deal?
I guess it's a big deal because the fundamental story Donald Trump's always told as to why he's sort of exceptional is that he created this massive empire all on his own. And it turns out that's really hard to piece together, really hard to support based on his true life story, which is that he was made a very wealthy young man from the time he was 3 years old by his father, and that the flow of money from his father continued throughout his life and escalated, especially in times when he was really in financial duress.
Is there anything he did with the tax code that would not bear scrutiny, that would look bad or possibly in violation of the tax code?
Yeah, there were several things we found that the experts we consulted with told us would violate various tax laws meant to avoid tax evasion. One of them was a corporation that he and his siblings set up called All County Building and Supply that didn't really perform any function at all. It just started purchasing, just on paper, the goods and services that were bought for their father's businesses, and then adding on 20% and passing that inflated bill on to his father. So they collected 20% of basically everything he was buying while doing no work. Our tax experts said that looks like a gift and a thing that was set up just to evade taxes. They also used that then to apply for rent increases on the rent-regulated apartments, thereby passing along sort of inflated rent increases to their tenants. And we were told that looks like they might have been filing false documents, which also could have led to a criminal investigation at the time.
Now, we should point out Trump's lawyer refutes or disputes your reporting, saying, quote, the New York Times allegations of fraud and tax evasion are 100% false and highly defamatory. There was no fraud or tax evasion by anyone. The facts upon which the Times bases its false allegations are extremely inaccurate. Where did you get all this information? People have been trying to figure out Mr. Trump's wealth, Mr. Trump's tax, what he's been doing with his taxes for decades.
It was quite an effort by three of us over the last year and a half. Over that course of time, we were able to piece together his father's empire from property records and mortgage records, and we developed sort of a network of sources through which we obtained more than 200 tax returns eventually that were filed by his father and his father's businesses over the years, and general ledgers and banking statements that really provided a very firm factual underpinning for what we concluded.